I think it's go in with kind of a sort of clear idea of what you want to do. I mean, I think people join the police because one, I wanted to be part of something that, supported and helped people. But I think also I was a little bit nosy, and I just like the idea of being able to, have an insight into, other people's lives at perhaps different stages, perhaps very good times, also very bad times, and, sort of being able to be sort of there as either a support or a sort of helpful presence. It's a great job, I appreciate we're going through a lot of changes now and things don't feel perhaps the same as they used to. But that's probably a little bit of rose-coloured glasses as you get older. But it's still a really, really good job, and certainly for any woman that's thinking of going in, I've certainly had a really fulfilling, enjoyable, and it's been a good career. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody that's thinking of doing it.
I would say that you've got to want to enjoy working with a team of people, because as a police officer you can't do it by yourself. It's not just your shift colleagues, but it'll be the scenes of crime officers, it'll be the people answering the radio, answering phone calls from the public and getting the information you need to do your job. You're part of a big team, and if you don't enjoy that kind of camaraderie, then you'll probably struggle. The second thing is it is a 24/7 job. There's a lot of things that can be done around flexible working, but ultimately it's a 24/7 job. The criminals don't go to bed at night. So if that's going to be something that you definitely don't want to do, then you might struggle. However, there are lots of jobs, not just police officer. There are so many different careers for women in policing. It doesn't have to be ones that go all the way through the night. So actually come and take a look. We've got stuff online that explains the various different jobs there are. Take a look. If it appeals to you, give it a go. That's the only way you're going to know. I've had 30 years of doing lots of different jobs and met fabulous people. That's the public and the people that I work with, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So if you think that you might like to do it, come and have a chat with a few people and give it a whirl.
If you're a woman and you're interested in joining the police force, there are so many more avenues open to you with all the different departments, because certainly when I joined there wasn't the armed response units. You had armed officers on the shifts who would collect their pistol and go up to Chequers to look after the Prime Minister, whereas now you've got dedicated units, and those units have all opened up to women over the years. It's not something that you can hold back. Progress cannot be held back. And I appreciate that women and ethnic minorities are underrepresented in a lot of the departments within Thames Valley Police.
Okay. I think anything goes. And I think one of my biggest things, and it's got bigger for me as I've got older, as part of my training, I trained something called Springboard, which is women's development. And I do think specifically women do an awful lot of things for a lot of different reasons, but very few for them. And as a woman, we have choices. And I think whatever we choose to do, we can do. And for women nowadays, I think the police service is an amazing career choice. There are virtually no limits to what you can do. You can specialise in any area. Back in 1976, 78, the only place a woman really could specialise would be possibly in CID, but certainly not normal, and roads policing and things like that, very rare to have women on. But nowadays, women can do anything. However, it is about choice. And yes, you can have a family, and more importantly for me, you can join the police service, have a family, and have a career. It's not easy because there's juggling to do and there are priorities to sort out. But I do think there's a lot of support here now. And thanks to a lot of very brave women in the past, they've blazoned a trail, if you like. We now have women, we had a woman sergeant on a specialist underwater search. We've got women in most departments now, I think. And for some of them, it was very difficult. Something as simple as body armour fitting properly, or having weapons that they can use, having hats that are suitable. I know they sound a bit daft, but we have made huge strides in that. And I think the possibilities are endless. And I think it's a brilliant career for anybody.
I think it's a fantastic job. I think if you are an active person that really wants to make a difference, that has a caring side but wants to be quite active and take action in doing that, and things matter to you and you're willing to kind of step up to the plate and stand for things, then it's the job for you.
I think life is much different now to when I first joined. There's lots of opportunities for women, both police officers and police staff. And there's now flexible working, part-time working, and you can choose to take control of your own career. And I think people should grasp those opportunities. Yes, there are still pockets of sexism across the organisation. There's still pockets of racism and homophobia, but these are very full and far between. You know, the police is a great career, and you've got lots of opportunities, lots of different types of roles that you can get into, and you should maximise the opportunity, raise your potential, not just in terms of progression up the ranks, but across all the grades, but across all the different roles that there are. And women owe it to themselves and to their sisters to do it, really.